All right, Fitz, I want to get into a little bit this week. We talk about this contender versus being a pretender team thing, and we ride this roller coaster all season long of who we think's good. Every week it changes. But let's talk about how fast the NFL really does flip, all right? Let's go back a month, all right? Right now, let's go back a month in the AFC, all right? In the AFC, you had the Colts 1, the Bills 2, Steelers were probably the 3 at 3-1, Chargers, Jaguars, Broncos, Patriots. Of that playoff group right there, if you said, hey, that's where we stand after the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, and now you flip it and you say, all right, really, has it changed any? No, we got the same teams. It's just moved all over the place. Now the Colts are 1, the Broncos are 2, the Patriots are 3, the Steelers are 4, the Chargers are 5, the Bills are 6, and the Jaguars are 7, holding on by a thread. And there's a team that I think the greatest Super Bowl odds on is not even on that list in the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at this and you say, all right, we've moved this much in a month, who's your contender and who do you unfortunately think might be a pretender?
Oh, Whit.
Come on, you got to be honest.
Well, let's have the first conversation and pin some of these down on division winners, okay?
Okay.
So, it's over. Indy's won the AFC South. Is that correct? Are we both in agreement?
That's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. Is it over in the AFC East?
I'm going to go Patriots. I don't think it's over, but I think the Bills have a really, really tough road to getting back ahead. I mean, we got to see the Patriots fall in a game like we have this week. They got to lose some that now you don't think they should.
Yeah, so that's what I went from the Bills are still going to win the AFC East this last week to doing the okay, what's the rest of their schedule? Are they going to finish 10-7? Which, they
got some challenges.
I know they have 4 home games left, and so they're pretty damn good at home, so I'm feeling good about that. Now it's like, can the Bills, as long as they get into the playoffs, we're going to be just fine. They're going to figure it out. It's all about quarterbacks. Josh Allen's the man. Okay, I'm not so sure about the division anymore. What about the AFC West? Is it a done deal? We'll know if it's a done deal this weekend, right? But do we think it's a done deal? We think
I don't think it's a done deal at all. I think there's still a long road there, but I think Denver could make a massive step if they beat the Chiefs this weekend. That is it would be a challenge because I just don't think the Chargers are going to be good enough to get themselves back in this.
Okay, and then AFC North, I think we're both in agreement here that is Baltimore's.
I think Baltimore's going to walk them down. I think they're going to walk them down.
I don't know. It's hard for me to watch the last game that we had and not say that the 8-2 Denver Broncos are pretenders. I know they're really good on defense. I know Sean Payton's a great play caller. I just think the inconsistency on offense has to catch up with them at some point. Are they going to make the playoffs? They sure are. They're sitting at 8-2 right now. It would take an epic collapse of colossal proportions for them not to make the playoffs, but I just don't see them as a contender this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. And here's the wild part. I was watching the Bills game, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I don't know why. Maybe I'm just numb to it at this point. I'm like, man, they're going to get beat by the Dolphins. But I still love them for their chances to make a run in the playoffs. And so it's kind of one of those things that I just looked at the game and I'm like, God, they don't like matching up against this Dolphins team. Like it's not a great matchup for them this season to who they are on defense really. And then offensively, I just think it's not a great matchup for them. But it's like, I still like them like they just proved a week ago against the Chiefs. I like them against a team we love to make another run in the Chiefs. I like them against the Broncos. Like I still think there's the Colts. Like I still like them in that game. Like I think that I don't lose any more faith in them being contenders, but I will say they really got to stay healthy at this point and even get healthier. So anybody else and they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, and I'm just going to stick with my Houston after 0-3. I said they're making the playoffs. I got to stick with it. With Davis Mills helped me out this last weekend because if they did not beat Jacksonville, that one would have been over. But their defense is too good. Their defense
really
is
good.
Unbelievable.
Danielle Hunter's unhuman.
He's unhuman. He really and Stingley too. Stingley's the best corner in football right now.
They got some freaks on the defense side of the ball. So what about Patriots? Let's just go Patriots. Contenders or not?
No, I think they're still.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so. I think what's going to hurt them. I think they play the right brand of football to be good in the playoffs. I just think what's going to hurt them is the competition this year when they start to face some of these really good teams. I know they beat the Bills in Buffalo. I know it, which was an amazing win, but I think they're still a year away from being contenders. What about you? Don't pin me. Hold on. Don't pin me down. What do you think about New England? Vrabel's going to be mad at me. He's going to be pissed at me when we go see him on Thursday.
Listen to me. Playoff football. What Vrabel's done. I mean, I think that this team is as talented as the Tennessee teams that Vrabel made runs with. So, I mean, I look at this team and I say, hey, physically how they play on defense. So they got a really good lockdown corner. Offensively, what Drake May's done with the football. They're starting to develop some explosion in the running game. Seeing Travion Henderson get after it. Like, I mean, I just, listen, that was the Tennessee Titans teams that made some runs and shocked people in the playoffs. And right now it looks like they're locked to make the playoffs. That's playoff winning football. And if they win the division and get a game in New England, that's another challenge. You got to go up to New England in that weather and play that style of team. I think that puts the advantage in their hands. So here's what I'll say. Are they contenders in the sense that I think they can get in the playoffs and win some football games how they're built? Yes, I do. I think my concern for Buffalo is whether they can stop anybody. And I think that the league has leaned a little bit defensive this year. We'd say the most successful teams, for the most part, are all playing great defense. And so I think that, to me, I think the Patriots are contenders for that fact alone. But I still think that if I had to pick three in the AFC right now that are legit contenders to win it and be there.
Then New England and Denver aren't on that list, right?
No, I'm going to say I'm going Chiefs. Something tells me that the Colts won't be there. I'm going Chiefs. I'm actually going the Bills. With a question mark on the defense, I'm scared about that pick. And then I actually think this Patriots team's built to be there. I think they got a chance. I think they could be the Commanders of last year. Like, they might surprise some teams and make it to the title game, and I think that might be where it ends.
Really?
I think they could be there.
I don't see it. So Indy's off your list. So you think Indy's a pretender? I would have Indy in that list.
It's tough. There's been a couple cracks the last few weeks where I'm questioning, Jonathan Taylor's obviously an insane player. They are built with an offensive line, which I do love. Losing DeForest Buckner, I think, is going to really hurt them. You look in that game, creating pressure on the other side of it was trouble for them, and they struggled there. I'm a little concerned defensively. We're losing him, one of their great pass rushers, are they going to start to run into that problem that you probably say the Bills have a little bit when they're not healthy up front? Can they get to the other quarterback, and does that make them a little more susceptible in defense? That's what I'm concerned about. I think the Colts are right there. You could flip, honestly, to me, Colts, Patriots all day. I think the next couple of weeks will tell us. I think how the Patriots play in this next stretch will tell us. And I think the Colts, I think this second half of the season, one of these two teams is going to show us their real identity. And I think that they're going to be, those are the two teams that I would have in there to flip.
I loved Richard Sherman's take on the Sauce Gardner trade, not because he doesn't think Sauce is a great player, but he said, okay, look at the landscape of the AFC. How does that move the needle? How does that move? Who are you going to put on him versus Kansas City? Rashee Rice, maybe, but there's other guys, and he's not necessarily like the dominant one they're always going to. Is it going to move the needle against the Bills? Who's he going to cover? Keon Coleman? He hasn't had a very big year. Who's he going to guard versus Baltimore? I thought it was an interesting point of
I agree.
That wasn't necessarily the piece he thought they needed. He thought they needed another pass rusher, somebody to get after the quarterback. Yep. And now, look, I've never been in a place where adding good football players to your team doesn't help your team. So I think it will be helpful to them. But he swayed my opinion a little bit on me thinking, gosh, this is it. They're all in. What a great move. How much does it move the needle in this landscape of the AFC?